I'm James Rothwell, the Daily Telegraph's Brexit correspondent, and I'm here today in Harrogate to talk to Tom Linden, a survivalist who's going to help us to do some preparation for what we might need in the event of a no-deal Brexit scenario. So Tom, we're here in Wheaton's, a food shop, where we're going to have a look around and see what type of food might be the best thing for us to stockpile.
Yeah.
Why don't we begin with some bread? This obviously is perishable, it's going to go stale, it's not going to last for a very long time, so what could we do to get around that?
Well, first of all, we wouldn't buy this bread. Nothing wrong with it, but it won't last long. Secondly, if something does happen, the shelves will be empty. So I would recommend we make our own.
Yeah, okay.
It's called bannock. It's been made for centuries. It's very simple, it's flour and water. You literally make a dough, something like a papier-mâché dough. I tend to do it in a Ziploc bag so that it doesn't make a mess. And then you just put it into the frying pan, a bit of butter, when it's golden brown, turn it over, you've got bread.
Okay, so in other words, I need to be buying not ready-made bread, but I need to be getting lots of flour so I can start making my own bread.
That's right.
The essential component, I would imagine, in a Brexit stockpile would be tinned food. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's cooked, so it can be eaten cold. The seal or the seam doesn't seem to be broken. It looks good all the way around. There's no rust.
Yep.
Safe to eat.
Now mine says best before September 2021. How long could I leave it, do you think?
Really, 10 years, 15, 20 years. If the seal isn't broken, the products inside should be good enough to eat.
What about perishable food, fruit, vegetables? Because, you know, the government has warned that we could run out of that in a no-deal situation. So we're not going to be having access to this sort of food at all, are we?
Well, it depends on the time of year, of course. You can put them into a cold store. The Americans call it a root cellar.
Yep.
But it needs to be underground so it's cool. So you could sink a box into the ground, put these into it, put a lid on it, keep the moisture out, and they'll keep. But one of the best ways to keep these vegetables fresh is to leave them in the ground and use them when you need them.
Now I imagine that no special stash would be complete without some meat, but then we run into the perennial issue of perishable goods, right? Just like some of the delicious meat that we have on this counter over here.
You could have your own little farm, if you wish, that you could harvest. What you've got to do is kill all the bacteria.
Right.
If you put it on a fire, you really want to make sure that everything's dead.
Yeah.
The bugs, bacteria. So by boiling it, you do that.
Now the government has said that something like 40% of food and drink is imported from the European Union.
Yes.
Which means there could be shortages if there's a no-deal Brexit situation, and that raises a big question mark over something that's quite important in most people's diet, it's probably fair to say, which is the occasional tipple. Now, stuff like all of this we're probably not going to have much access to if there are supply issues. So what should we do? Should we start making our own?
Well, what we would do is we'd stockpile our favourite drink. We could go down the route of making our own.
What sort of homemade alcohol might I be making in October then?
Well, you could use your apples from August, September.
Yeah, so exciting.
Make cider. You could make honey mead.
Honey mead.
Which is what the monks used to make.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, we don't need alcohol, but we like to have it.
Yeah.
So again, anything else you'd like to have, stockpile.